Hello, this is group 2, which consists of Merve, Sinara, Sachin, Kostas, Clement, and myself. So I'm trying to shake you up with a little bit of milkshake theory, because when we were thinking of how these innovative and disruptive companies create their strategies, how they use design thinking, of which you already learned about, it's very interesting to see at Clayton Christensen's work, who not only found out the innovator's dilemma, but he provided also some kind of solutions. And one of his provided solutions was the jobs to be done theory, where by the example of the milkshakes, actually they were studying the people's behavior in the US, why they drink milkshakes. And they were trying to go through the traditional marketing methods, the traditional customer needs, but they realized that actually when they did the interviews, people just replied to them that the thickness of the milkshake must be thick enough to last as long as they get to work. So basically, this was the job to be done by the milkshake, to be there with them, to hold on to. And what he said with this very silly example is that to understand what motivates people to act, meaning to buy, we first must understand what is the job to be done. And in case of the milkshake, it was the thickness of the milkshake. And this leads us to the use case driven and to the customer value-based driven IP creation, because this is basically really vice versa. So it's not technology, but it's the customer, it's the user who will define what needs to be done. Light is light, lighting is there, but lighting as a service needs to be additional and needs to create some added values. And this is what we are going to show you through the Interact Retail experience, which is lighting as a service in this case. Next slide, please. So what we see with regards to the evolution of patent strategy at Philips is that they stopped fighting over LED. They stopped fighting over technology. And instead of this, they created customer experience-based IP strategy with customer values. They used the 360 degrees IP strategy, and they went into the direction not just user-driven, being user-driven, but to build opportunities based on patent cooperations. And other companies could, in this way, be complementary to what they provide. So this means that from this isolated IP portfolio, they were able to build out a holistic service concept. Next slide, please. So what we see in the Interact Retail is that this is about store lighting. And the customer journey is basically led by the lights, and it gives the customers moods, it gives the customers guidance, and very important that it is connected. So they use APIs, application programming interfaces. It means that it's not just there isolated, but it can connect to other technologies. And in this way, it can be complementary to other kind of business partners. So what we see is that the slogan of it is guide, engage, and enhance efficiency. So it's both customer related, but their customers are also the partner companies, and they totally understand this. So the jobs to be done can be understood on multiple levels, customer and partner levels. And this is why it's very interesting to see how they connect each other. And this is what we can see in the use case examples further on.
Thank you, Rita. So I think store lighting, we know it is everywhere. but what if we told you that it can support new operational efficiencies, it can enhance store experience, and generate data for in-depth retail analytics? So this is what Interact Retail enabled by connected LED lighting will allow you to do. So I'll elaborate a bit more on 4 specific areas: scene management, indoor navigation, energy optimization, and lighting management. Next slide, please. Okay, so first and foremost, in terms of scene management, I think we will all agree that beautiful quality light is an essential component to great retail experience. So with the use of light recipes and zoning, you are able to create an unforgettable store experience, and you are able to do things like highlight specific promotions, customer events, or even tailor areas to specific audience. So what Interact Retail Scene Management allows you to do is to have that stopping power through both color and movement inside and outside of the store. So it is a smart retail way to build your brand and customer loyalty. Next, on indoor navigation and also specifically location analytics, through the Interact Retail indoor navigation technology, it allows you to have a personalized, convenient shopping experience, and at the same time allow for new staffing efficiencies. With the hyper-accurate indoor positioning and powered by technology embedded in LED luminaries, you are able to direct shoppers and enable location-based services. For example, this includes ASO site promotions and also requesting assistance for the shoppers. So with this, it also supports staff efficiency with improved workflows. For example, if you have retail data collected about shopper and staff traffic flows and behavior, you are able to improve store layout and operations. Next slide, please. And finally, in terms of both lighting management as well as energy optimization, you are able to simplify lighting maintenance as well as reduce energy costs with Interact Retail. So staff members can easily manage connected lighting with an app that configures groups and schedules lighting tasks, and at the same time receive alerts. So with the use of Interact Retail, you can monitor lighting and energy usage across one or more chains with analytics to allow you to optimize operations, reduce costs, and also plan maintenance. Next, I'll hand over to Sinara to talk about the use case.
Thank you. Here there is a use case based on the experience of Migros, a Swiss market, and its partner, a distributor of Greek vines. So for introducing a new product, Migros lines up a store and try to give a new experience to the clients. And because nowadays and in general, this new generation of shoppers are online and are online driven and use a smart device for shopping. They want more personalized shopping and a more convenient experience. So the retail store needs more diverse formats and more connectivity and creates an immersive space for shoppers. So the first step, Migros and the partner will decide the place for shelves and the spots for showing the light effects. And the store can set different lightings to scenes, zones, and the times, the set lighting intensity to create a right mood for each department. For example, in the morning, the right lighting can attract more shoppers to the bakery. And in the afternoon, the store can schedule the lighting to the fresh fruits and vegetables. So after deciding the lighting effects, Migros and his partner set temporary stands to try the vines and then add light effects to lead the consumers to the shelves. And the Migros also add some complementary products like cheese and snacks. And also for enrich the experience, they decided to set a game for shoppers, fill out the questionnaire and collect some data. As a result, it is for the partner, it is a successful promotion of his product, and it's an easier way to launch the new product. And for Migros, for sure, add income through additional shelves and knowing more about its customer. And by collecting data, they can, for example, save some energy. Next.
Okay. So if we are to group these use cases presented by Interact Retail, we can say that one of the use cases is enhancing the customer experience so that the store is made more attractive to the customer, and it is possible to change the appearance of the store so there will be something new for customers even when they frequently go to the same store. And also there will be better light quality, and that which in turn gives some eye comfort, which might especially be useful at the end of a day when you're shopping in the market. And the second category is the use of the Interact Retail to make fresh produce. So this way, by making use of the Interact Retail, it is possible to make the fresh produce appear more appealing with more lively colors. And also, it can be used to keep the produce fresh, which will lead to less food waste. And it will be a benefit for the customer as well as for the retail store. Also, the third category is to improve sustainability. The Interact Retail allows to achieve around 40% energy savings with an LED, and an additional 20% by adding costs controls. So this is managed by changing the lighting schemes according to the time of the day or according to the number of people in the store. So it allows cost-saving measures in terms of energy. And yeah, so I'm going to do the next slide now. Yeah.
Thank you, Merve. So we found at least two patents or representative patent families that can directly support this use case. The first one is a US patent application that discloses a lighting device, a method, and a computer program product for highlighting a product in a store fixture, display, or shelf. So essentially, what this patent application discloses is a lighting device. So it's a piece of hardware that can emit visible light in a range of distinguishable color variations. And there is a computer system implemented that can control the emission of a wavelength, so of a specific color for a specific product and for a specific customer. And this is done by tracking, by having simple proximity sectors, close range proximity sectors, like detecting close range proximity sensors like RFID or based on RFID or NFC technology, and attracting the customer attention by highlighting a product on a shelf using different lighting. So that can be used, for example, to give some personalized offer to a customer, which is a subscriber in a platform of the retail shop, or to highlight some and for example, based on the analytics of that platform, there are some known customer preferences, or for example, to indicate some offers, to distinguish between type of products, for example, fish or wine and so on, or to give knowledge of particular bargaining prices. And there are different color variations that can be used for different types of products. Then there is a different patent this time, US patent that we found that can be also attributed to this case, which is control of lighting in a retail space to attract customers. So the SOP that can accommodate such application has a sensor system, for example, cameras, or as before, RFID and NFC sensors and so on, and a motion sensor, for example. And this sensor system can identify the presence or even the identity of a customer outside a retail store. So when the customer is about to enter the store or is thinking about whether he is a good time or a good choice to enter the store. And if the customer is, for example, a subscriber, then the color that the customer see, the customer experience outside the store matches his own preferences, for example, or some sort of color that corresponds to the loyalty ranking of this customer in the proprietary platform of this retail store. Alternatively, if the customer is a new customer and the system does not have any information about him or her or the preferences associated with the person, then the application can actually count the number of times that the client stand outside the store, so which indicated that thought about entering, and then adapts the color accordingly, such as to make more inviting, let's say, so to speak, for this client to enter the store. And when each of these clients, or a client which is a subscriber or a client which is not a subscriber, enters the store, then the color while he's walking through the store, for example, by modifying the color of the shelves, can become personalized to reflect the number of times that he's visiting or visited before the store, or his loyalty ranking. So these are two patent applications related explicitly with a use case, but we also found another one which is implicitly related with the use case, because of course in these kind of use cases, using all these data analytics, a critical question comes for the retail store is how to handle all this personal data. So there is a bundle of regulations that, according to jurisdiction, that have to be the store has to be compliant for. That's a very big effort to meet legal and administrative requirements. So Signify gives a very simple solution to this problem, especially for the clients who are not subscribed in a proprietary platform of the store and implicitly or explicitly gave their consent about the use of their private data. So, for example, when someone is not being found, a new client is tracked by the different sensors of the store and is identified as not a client who gave previously consent for using his data, then there is a simple system where the sensors are identifying in the end whether the customer is outside of the store and then deleting the data. So having said that, I give the floor to the next speaker.
Yeah, thanks, Konstantinos. So we've envisioned 3 other application use cases for this lighting system in retail. So the first one would be using the light as a tool for efficient shopping. So we can use light to guide customers who have specific needs, like they have some food allergies or they have preferences like gluten-free products, etc. And so we use color codes to allocate certain spaces in the stores which have these kind of goods. Another way is when customers have specific goals, like they're looking for bio or environmental friendly products. So here again, you can use a light-based code to guide customers on where to go. And this sort of saves time for the customer because he needn't spend several minutes surfing the store to figure out where the products are. It also saves space for the retail outlet as a result. So the second use case is that is the cooperation possibilities with products like Thermomix or Brita or Nespresso. So here you have products which may be compatible with other products such as the Nespresso capsules or certain ingredients which are tailor-made for Thermomix. So here again, you use like a color coding system to sort of allocate the compatible products. Another thing that you can do with the lighting system is that by working the visible light communication pattern, so you have the luminaire that's communicating with the customer app, and you can use that to trigger gamification experiences or AR. And it's been shown that gamification can increase traffic in retail and also improve profits. So that's another possibility. The last one we envisioned is to have like immersive advertisement like retail experiences. And I think this would be really applicable in fashion or gadget retail, where retail stores can have a separate experiential room, and where you have sort of like a light show kind of performance to mimic a product launch that you see in, say, a YouTube video or an advertisement. So these would be like private experiences, and retail outlets can charge like premium prices for these experiences. Last slide. So in terms of the IP that can be used to protect these use cases, so the obvious one is design rights. So you can protect the aesthetic design of the luminaires, and also the store design itself with the sequence of and pattern of lights. Trademarks, I guess consumers over time could begin to associate certain retail outlets with certain color patterns, and maybe even in combination with music. I guess it would be difficult to get a trademark for a color per se, but combinations, sequences, and combinations with music would certainly be trademarkable. Again, as we've been seeing throughout the entire course, we can protect the user interactive features in the IoT system. And again, you can get protection through the getup, the goodwill that people associate with the lighting getup, or which is like the trade dress in the US. So yeah, that brings us to the end of the presentation. Thanks for listening.